Hey there, I'm Jay Johnson with WindowPurchase.com, and if you found me on YouTube for the first time, please subscribe and like my channel. But I do have a website called WindowPurchase.com where I list all of my videos, and they're in a specific order, so if you just go down the list, you can just watch the videos that might pertain to you and not waste time watching videos that you don't need to be watching. Anyway, here's a video I've been wanting to do for a while because, once again, the people out there of the world, a lot of them just like to make assumptions. And here's one of the assumptions. A lot of people say, well, Jay, you're really not a big fan of wood windows. Well, let me give you some examples why, and let me clarify. I'm not a big fan of wood windows made in the US, but I'm a big fan of wood windows made in Europe or like Germany. And let me break it down for you. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to actually share you some of the pictures I have, and then I'll go through some of the problems. But before I do that, I want to do this. How is it that wood windows made many, many, many years ago, in any way, shape, or form, could possibly be better in some way, shape, or form than the windows made out of wood today? Well, first of one is, years ago they were cutting down old growth trees. You were getting good, hardy, dense wood. Wood that was less prone to expansion, contraction, warping, twisting, sagging, absorbing moisture, okay? Nowadays, most of the wood windows in the market, most of them, not all, southern pine, very soft. You can dig your fingernail into it. Martial arts, when they're holding up boards, they're breaking pine. It's not oak, it's not hickory, so on and so forth. It certainly isn't engineered lumber. So, could the glass be better than years ago? Well, of course. Get out of single pane, go to double pane, you have an improvement. Go from double pane, go to triple pane, you have an improvement. But then there's variances there too. Then the way the design is made, the way the corners are put together, the way the glass is put in, stuff like that. But let me share some pictures with you today. Some of these I've taken myself, some are right off YouTube. The problem with the wood windows made in America, every brand, is they put the cladding right on top of the wood. They try to convince you it's going to protect from moisture. I'm sorry, rain. The problem is it doesn't protect from moisture. So, the moisture gets behind the cladding system. All it takes is the right humidity and dew point level. And the wood is touching that. And what do you think wood does when it contacts moisture? It wants to absorb it. And that's your moisture problems. And I see this happen on so many windows. So here's a great example. This is called a rolled form aluminum clad. You can see the roll form clad sits right on top of the wood. The wood is pine. It's very soft. The cladding system's literally about as thin as a pop can. A slightly better system, and I do use the word slightly, is extruded aluminum clad, where the aluminum is a much thicker gauge, but you can see it's still attached directly to the wood. And the problem is moisture gets trapped behind those layers. Not to mention, when the aluminum gets hot, it transfers into the wood. What's wood want to do when it gets hot? It wants to expand. When the aluminum gets cold, it transfers into the wood. What's wood want to do when it gets cold? It wants to contract. How they do it in Germany is, and I haven't verified this, maybe you can go out and check it, I don't really care, but my understanding is it's illegal in Europe to make wood windows like they do here. Whether it's illegal or not, what they're doing is a lot better than what we do here because the cladding system never touches the wood at any point. So they know with the right humidity and dew point level, moisture will get behind there, but it unaffects the wood because the wood's not touching it, therefore the wood cannot absorb it. And that moisture will either evaporate or just weep out. And they also offer multiple, and when I say multiple, I'm talking 20, 25 plus, different type of very hardy wood species. So you don't have to just pick southern pine, southern pine, southern pine. And this is what makes their windows, for the most part, far superior to what we are doing here in the United States as far as clad wood windows. So let's get real again. when somebody says, gee, Jay, you're really not a big fan of wood windows, make the wood window the right way, and then give me some high-performance glass packages that come with it, and then take 90% of the exclusions out of the warranty and tell me you'll actually cover them, and show me in the warranty that labor is actually covered, because if labor doesn't say it's covered, then it's up to the dealer you buy from to actually perform the labor. That's a whole nother issue I'm not going to get into right now. Anyway, you wanted it, you got it. This is my video on why I'm not a big fan of wood windows, made in the US. If you buy them, don't cry about it, because they're not cheap either. You're going to pay a premium for those. And the few videos I've watched that where somebody says, well, vinyl's your lower end, then they show fiberglass, this is your middle end, then they show up a nice big fat frame of a wood window and say, this is your premium. Well, that's what they want you to believe because it costs more, but they're not giving you any specific reasons why. And I know you have not done the research on class action lawsuits on almost every wood brand, almost every wood brand made in America at one point or another have been involved in class action lawsuits. As a matter of fact, one of them is so bad that they've recently dumbed down their warranty now, and it literally says something like this: the client cannot partake in any future class action lawsuits and has to allow for arbitration. That's an eye-opener. Anyway, my name's Jay Johnson. If you like my channel, please subscribe. And welcome to windowpurchase.com for the first time if you go into it. Thank you.